What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access. Today we're joined by Bishop Lamont. Thank you for coming through, sir.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Man, we got a best album that is arguably one of the best albums ever in rap that we're going to do today. OutKast's Aquemini, their third album released in 1998. So for you, Bishop, why is this a best album?
Where do you start? From the intro?
Yeah.
And Return of the Gangster. And everything that was said, the way Andre 3000 just summed up every fuckboy, can I say potty mouth words?
Yes.
He summed up every fuckboy and fuckery that exists.
On one song.
Masterfully. One song.
Masterfully.
Culturally.
Yes.
And in the streets. And just sliced and diced motherfuckers where they can't even argue it. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? So from Return of the Gangster, it gave me such a joy that somebody was fighting fuckery.
And the genius of it is that Return of the G, they're not even gangster rappers or gangsters, and they still slayed them,
right.
Which I thought added a whole other dimension and level to it.
Because they're inside, most of them that are rapping that way aren't real gangsters either. So, it works. It works on so many levels.
Yeah.
But just the truth. And the execution of the truth. There's a certain way, there's a certain balance of how you can say it and it becomes preachy and it becomes annoying, right. And it's like, okay, well you can't, you can't throw any stones, or who the fuck are you to say that? But the way it was done, it was even done with a level of elegance. Shouts out to Andre 3000 and Big Boy. It was done with such a sophistication, such a freedom that it blows my mind, and I always listen to that. It's the same way when I first heard Get Up, Get Out, and Get Something.
Right.
That kind of motivation and those real reflections, that honesty that was conveyed in that song. That's the thing I'm gonna say. Mm-hmm. What OutKast has always done the same is they've always been different. If there's anything that you can do, I would say continue to evolve. So that's what Aquemini gave me from top to bottom, every experience from it. And breathtaking, man.
And, I correct me if I'm wrong, but until Rosa, okay.
Go ahead.
But I was gonna say, I had never heard a harmonica solo until Rosa Parks. And I remember my friend Alan Gordon and I, we were driving down La Cienega, and we had the advance when we were working at Rap Pages, and driving down La Cienega and listening to the song on a cassette. And we were like, yo, they have a harmonica solo at the end of the song? This is genius. And it just fit in so well with what they were doing, and it was just it was phenomenal.
Thank you. And it was a real harmonica.
Yeah.
It was a real instrument. Guess what, guys? There's real instruments out there. There's real musicians. Those are real artists. What kills me is when people say they're artists and they can't paint, they can't draw, they can't play an instrument, they don't do shit, but they're artists.
Right.
Fuck out of here. But yes, Rosa Parks through and through, even the video. But Raekwon was on that. On
the Barbie.
Yes. So, I mean, it's too many. It's too many. It's too many.
Well, with Raekwon, I think it's important.
Artist storytelling. Oh, yeah.
But with Raekwon, I think it's amazing or interesting to mention that, even in '98, even at this time in the game, East Coast rappers, dudes from New York, were not appearing on Southern albums. And then you get someone like Raekwon, who this was still essentially at the height of the Wu-Tang, or around the height of the Wu-Tang still. And he's on the OutKast album. That just shocked me too. And he came through, man, with a sledgehammer.
Well, I'll speak on his behalf because I know him. Yes, I know him. Give me money, give me pussy because I know him. Yes, but that's what I used to say. He's just such a real dude. He's such a real artist, that artists are going to transcend boundaries of that bullshit. Because again, OutKast is one of the greatest examples of Southern hip hop. So whenever they try to diss the South and say this about the South, I say, hey, listen to OutKast and shut the fuck up.
Basically.
You know what I mean? Listen to Goody Mob and shut the fuck up. I can keep going, but that's why when you saw one of my favorite guys from Wu-Tang on a song with fucking OutKast and they're going that ape shit, again, it's shut down. It's like, shut the fuck up. There's nothing you can say about them not having bars. There's nothing you can say about them not having beats, because Organized Noise and Mr. DJ, shouts out to them pimps, flawless.
basically.
Sporty Dopalicious,
I was
just
about to
spoken
say.
word. Okay, here, yeah, we on the same page. Yeah,
Yeah, and when you get to that song, like, it's just, not only is OutKast always doing new and different things, but then they can do a spoken word song, they can bring in like a horn section, and it's genius. Like,
and see, he can say genius. Another thing, stop on Twitter, stop on all this bullshit. As soon as the album comes out, it's a classic. Go look up the definition of classic and then look up, oh look, I got a genius on my shirt, isn't that coincidental? You have to really be a fucking genius, okay? What OutKast did actually is genius. It's not one of those things where, oh no, you didn't listen to it right. No, you gotta listen to it when the sun is bright in the sky about noon or something, like all that bullshit. Now you gotta go by the ocean, and no, it's either amazing or it's not. It doesn't take 5 or 6 listens to understand something. That's why motherfuckers try to be so deep, like, no, you just didn't listen to it right. How do you not listen to it right? So when you heard Sporty Dopalicious and just, wow, just every which way about that thing, and then being able to do spoken word and tell their tales and keep you engaged, and then they come and rock you with these horns, which are fucking ridiculous. The bass on there, just everything that's happening on that thing, and then the damn. It's like, yo, and then you go back to Good Times. For those who don't know about Good Times, that was a powerful moment,
nice
a powerful, hurtful moment. You got to see it. Look it up. I won't ruin it for you, but yeah. Damn James.
And then
hurt our hearts across America. I was baby. Was I born then? But yeah, I saw it.
And then even right after or soon thereafter on the album, you have Deliberation, which, we have the thing about OutKast that they did, and obviously in tune with Goody Mob that they did so brilliantly, was bringing the level of soul into rap in a way that just added so much to the music. And CeeLo's on the song, of course, and then teaming with Erykah Badu throughout the album. It's just like they're bringing in. It's almost like they're not playing fair, Bishop.
They're not, and that's how you're supposed to play when you're a real artist, and you really care about the culture, you care about the art form, and you want to come in and leave the people with something that's going to stay with them the rest of their lives, possibly.
Right.
And that's what they did for me, because when you listen to that, I call it soundtrack music to real life. Okay. When you have albums like that, other shit, I don't know what that is. That's for a commercial. That's some shit that's not real life. That's some catalog shit, or that's how they make the food look on commercials and it's not real food, but that's what they do in the pictures. Like, that's the kind of bullshit they be making. So when you have artists like this that are making home-cooked meals that you will eat a feast and you'll push yourself away from the table, you might go back later that night for a little bit more, and then you're gonna make some baggies for lunch for the kids, and you're gonna take something like, it's something that you can continuously eat from, and that's what Aquemini represent. Even when it got to Aquemini, when it got to that song, and it's scary, it was unfair. When he came back, you thought it was over?
Yeah.
And he goes, my mind works a man's count to 10. And I was like, fuck you. I love when somebody can make me go back to the drawing board. And every time I hear Big Boy and Andre, they make me go back to the drawing board, or they make me get back on the mat. It's never enough training.
Right.
I look at it as martial arts, and they are absolutely in a Bruce Lee field of execution, because they made their own Jeet Kune Do. They've made their own styles, and they've taken all the bullshit out of it and purified it to a very amazing philosophy.
And then on Aquemini, of course, the MC Ren reference
was
amazing, because, as fans of all types of rap like we are.
Shouts out to MC Ren.
Yes. The amazing thing about it was that was one of those things that, like, people that loved rap always were like, man, MC Ren never gets respected. And then boom, you hear Aquemini and
and it took somebody from the South.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous just how many layers and levels of what they did on Aquemini is amazing. And I think also, Bishop, I'd like for you to speak, because Andre deservedly gets so much attention, what Big Boy did on Aquemini, in your opinion, that was brilliant, because he destroys it.
That's why it's so dope, because people always try to just put Andre in front and forget that Big Boy always bridged the gap for those that didn't want to think that hard, didn't want to be that deep and lyrical. He knew how to bridge the streets with the intellectuals. Right. He knew how to get the gangsters, the pimps, the max, the hustlers, the hoes, whatever, with the MCs, with the scientists. Right, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Big Boy always did. So there's a lot of moments where, if you're not an MC yourself, or somebody who's truly into the art of bars, Andre can lose you. Because a lot of people, remember Master Killer said the dumb are most intrigued by the drum? So Big Boy would always be able to keep people's attention when he jump off the rails and fly away on you. So Big
Right.
Boy was always, how you say yin and yang, or how yin and yang, how you say it, he always kept us there, especially later when we had Speaker Box and The Love Below.
Right.
So Big Boy was always necessary in that balance, and he knew how to execute slick rhymes and still keep it where everybody can understand it.
Right.
That's the thing that I've always looked at artists too, where the most important part about artistry is communication. It's not about trying to be above people's heads and you got to go
It's
get a
connecting.
billion
It's
dictionaries.
connecting with people.
Big Boy is a connoisseur and a master of connectivity, where I don't have to keep listening to it over and over to figure something out. And that doesn't negate him being a genius, but he understands how to focus it.
Right.
It's the same thing as Bruce Lee when he would throw kicks doing
Right.
film, and he'd have to slow him down so you could see him.
Yeah.
Or any martial arts master. So Big Boy understood how I need to slow my kicks down. I need to make sure you can see this punch. I need to
Right.
keep this entertaining for those who don't understand what we're really trying to do. Just like they said it on Southern Place to Cadillac Music. You know what I'm saying? It's more than pimps and Cadillacs and blah, blah, blah. And then surprise, surprise, AT Aliens came. So that's what I give Big Boy all the praise for, is he knew that. Mm-hmm. It's a thing where in our culture, in hip hop, and especially for African Americans, that to be intelligent is shunned.
Right.
It's not cool to be smart. It's like, what? When somebody talks properly, they say you're speaking white. No, I'm just speaking proper English.
Right, right.
If you like reading, if you have, if you can count, if you like math, so
Yeah.
Big Boy and Andre were a great example of breaking so many stereotypes of they're from the South, they're bumpkins. These motherfuckers are very smart.
Right.
Cut that shit out, because when we migrated from the South, running from segregation, everything else going down there, we came from the fucking South. So it's those stereotypes and our own forms of segregation in hip hop
Right.
that OutKast made sure they broke. Especially, you remember when they were at the Source Awards and they said the South got something to say.
Got something to say.
And what happened?
And they proved it.
And now everybody trying to sound like the South.
And it has,
Message! Oh!
And it has
Shame!
it has been for quite a while.
Right.
So now looking back, what do you think is the legacy of Aquemini?
There are moments in time where you have artists who create music. It's living anyway, the sound. I won't get nerdy on you, but you have these certain things that are organic and they continuously expand and they continuously take on new meanings. And Aquemini is one of those things where every time I listen to it, as I progress as an artist, as I grow older, and keep evolving as a human being, spiritual, more conscious, whatever, it always has new information for me and new feelings, new vibrations.
Right.
When I delve that deep into it.
Well, there it is, y'all. That's why we pick it. Bishop picked it, and I endorse it, man.
Thank you.
OutKast's Aquemini, best album here, Unique Accents.
Message!